NFL free agency starts in about 3 weeks, and the Texans get to start in 3 weeks as well. I'm going to be breaking down the team's needs for free agency. Cue the intro. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of The Lead. Your host, as always, Harley Dugan. I'm going to be doing a string of videos this week of just Texans free agency. And I'm going to be, dividing it up by position of mostly what the team needs. So first things first, I'm going to start out with running back because the Houston Texans need a goddamn running back because David Johnson is absolutely horrible and Duke Johnson ain't nothing too special. When I look at both of those running backs, both of them should be cut. I look at David Johnson, who has a $8.8 million cap hit. Well, you have a dead cap for him at around $2 million. So if you cut him, you save almost $7 million. Yeah, cut him. Waste of my time. Worst trade in NFL history. Wash your hands. It's over. Let's get that over with. Cut him. Next one is Duke Johnson. Now, Duke Johnson has no dead cap. So if you cut him, he has a $5 million cap hit. You cut him, you save $5 million. And look at that, boys. You just saved almost $12 million in just your running backs alone. Both of them who did not do anything to help you this season. Duke Johnson gave you a little bit of something. David Johnson, for some reason, people love him because of the last 4 games. David Johnson can go kick rocks for all I give a damn about. The Texans need to get a running back. And look, whether or not they get one in free agency or they want to focus on it in the draft, free agency, I really want them to focus on the defense. But for the sake of the video, this is why I'm doing it. Running backs that I think the Texans should definitely take a look at. Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette is a guy that a bunch of teams are going to have their eyes on him. But we all saw what he did in the playoffs for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, averaged about 5 yards a carry in the playoffs, did tremendous things for Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. So, look, when he was cut, I thought the Texans should have took a look at him, come in and really replace David Johnson, but they were just a little too stubborn to ever do that. And now we have a whole new coaching change. Hopefully, there's something different with this run game. We all know, and I've already harped on this, that Tim Kelly's weaknesses was his running scheme. It was absolutely horrible when you run guys consistently up the A-gap, over and over again, when we know these running backs that we had, like David Johnson and Duke Johnson, are better suited running on towards the outside, getting them in space, and we saw a little bit, just glimpses of it, just not all the way. So hopefully with the addition of James Campen, in addition to some of these other coaches, hopefully something changes with that. But Leonard Fournette is a guy that I think the Houston Texans should definitely take a look at. A guy that probably gets a little bit more money than he should this offseason just because of what he did in the playoffs, and he's still a relatively young running back. He had a really good rookie season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Another guy that the Texans should take a look at, Mike Davis. Mike Davis is a guy that played for the Carolina Panthers. If you know anything about him, he's from South Carolina. I don't know why. I had a huge draft crush that year on Mike Davis. I thought he could have been very solid for the Texans. And, of course, he ends up going to the San Francisco 49ers. I forgot who he was. I didn't even know this was the same guy when I was delving more into him. We saw what he did this year with the Carolina Panthers. He was a journeyman running back. And 1 year with Joe Brady, he gets 1,000 yards accumulated for the season, rushing and receiving in total. About 4 yards a carry, 28 years old, a relatively another cheap option at the running back position for the Houston Texans. He can run, he can receive, does a little bit of both very well and solid enough. Possibly a good pickup for the Houston Texans. Another guy I do want to take a look into is Malcolm Brown. Malcolm Brown is from the University of Texas at Austin. Hook 'em. Malcolm Brown is interesting. I don't really want him as like a starter, perhaps, but another relatively cheap option that when he was thrown in there for this. I was going to say St. Louis for the Los Angeles Rams. When he was thrown in there for the LA Rams, look, he did a decent job. In the first game, he had about 18 carries, 79 yards, and pretty much demolished the Dallas Cowboys run defense, which that was the note on them the whole entire year. But after that game, his stats kind of decline, doesn't do as much. Darrell Henderson kind of takes the baton, and then they kind of just piggyback off each other. So look, Malcolm Brown isn't a number one running back, but if you have him as a number 2 or number 3 running back, I'm definitely all over that for the Houston Texans. Another guy that I think the Texans would take a look at is going to be Kalen Ballage. If you don't know Kalen Ballage, look him up. He started with the Miami Dolphins, didn't get any playing time there, wanted out, goes to the Jets, and then for some reason the Jets, I believe, who traded for him, I think either cut him or trade him again, and he ends up going to the LA Chargers, where his first few games he started because they had injured running backs, and when he started, he looked solid. Kalen Ballage had about 3 games where he started, had about 4 yards a carry. The guy could do a little bit of both. He can also receive. He had about 4 catches a game, 6 targets in those 3 games altogether. So it's somebody that I believe the Texans could definitely take a look into. $825,000 is what he made last year. And oh, by the way, James Campen was also there in 2020 with Kalen Ballage. Possibly a marriage here in Houston to reunite them would be pretty interesting, but I got somebody better that I think the Texans could look at. But Kalen Ballage to come in here and basically be your Carlos Hyde-ish kind of running back here, very young, no tread on the tires really. I mean, bring him in here, be your second running back. Why not? And then another guy, of course, is Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell played for the Kansas City Chiefs. We all know he was with the Steelers and the Jets before that. He sat out in 2018. He's had some problems with the New York Jets but with the Chiefs, we all saw and I saw that this man still has plenty of tread on the tires. And if you look at his career, he's only really been used for about 5 or 6 years, and that's it. The Jets didn't really use him to his full capability. We all know that Le'Veon Bell and Adam Gase just kind of butted heads. So bring him in here, have a different running scheme. You have a Le'Veon Bell who, yes, he can be your number 1. I wouldn't necessarily want him to be your bell cow. I still want another running back to go along with him. But Le'Veon Bell is a very good option for the Houston Texans. And then last but not least, I want to get into Jamal Williams from the Green Bay Packers. This is the guy I want for the Houston Texans. And look, he's going to be possibly slightly expensive, not like top of the line money or anything, but the Packers have an issue at running back right now. Both Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams are up for free agency, and both of them are testing free agency as well. Look, the Packers are going to do one of 2 things. They're going to keep Aaron Jones, pay him his money, or are they want to go cheaper and pay Jamal Williams and make him their starting running back? He stepped in and done amazing things for the Green Bay Packers. He can run, he can receive, he does both very well. And with the addition of James Campen, who was with the Green Bay Packers, who Jamal Williams absolutely loves, not just him. The offensive line absolutely loves James Campen. Talk about a really good marriage that can happen in the city of Houston. James Campen, Jamal Williams get that similar type of run scheme that they had in Green Bay. And let's work with it. Let's see what we can do. Let's get a decent offensive line as well. But that's the running backs that I think the Houston Texans definitely need to take a look at into this season. So that's it for today's video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for the notice to turn on. If I have missed a name, or do you think I should add somebody else onto the running back list for free agents for the Houston Texans, drop it down in the comment section down below. I do still have these guests coming on to my channel. I got a few guests coming on. Big guests, actually. No response from them in the past few days. The power and the ice and the snow has really hurt the opportunity for that to happen. Hopefully it's still on, but I will keep you updated. As always, guys, go Astros, go Rockets, go Texans. Y'all have a blessed day.